Hi, everybody. It is January 29th, and today is a really cool day because Venus goes direct. We still have Mercury retrograde until February 3rd. And tomorrow, Millie and I will be recording our monthly forecast. So that will be our September, October, November, December, January. Oh, we're almost there. So yeah, the link is in the description box for that channel. And we really go into the details of the astrological influences, sort of backed up by the tarot, and they always coincide. So it's usually about an hour and a half. And if you don't already know this, on YouTube, because that's where you'll be watching this most likely, you can actually change the settings, the playback settings. So you can change the speed to 1.25 or 1.5, or if we're talking particularly slowly, 1.75 or even 2 times the speed, and it doesn't change the pitch. So we don't turn into little chipmunks. So right now, I'm not going to focus too much on the astrological aspects of this. Let's turn that off. I'm not going to focus on that part because we will really be getting into it in that other forecast, in that other very lengthy and detailed reading. But those two things are still here. And we do have the sun in Aquarius now. The days are getting longer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. I am in the West Coast of Canada, North America, I guess. Pacific Northwest area, and it's very nice that the days are getting longer and milder, and when it feels like spring here. I do have the window open a little bit, and got this lovely cabin vibe happening, and Venus going direct is a very interesting energy. Of course, the Empress is still happening. That's our divine feminine energy, and it's really strong. And I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon. But there's this lighter feeling, and it's happier, and it's not just a thing working in the background now. It's actually coming to the forefront. Okay, this is the Muse deck by Chris Ann. About 4 decks by her. Okay, so let's just see what's happening. The shadow period of Venus retrograde, you'll feel that all through the month of February. But I'm really happy that Mercury goes direct right at the beginning, because last year it went further in. February is my month, so I wasn't so keen on that. Queen of Wands. Ooh, Queen and King of Wands and the 3 of Swords. That's very interesting. Just got chills there. And the Queen of Cups. Okay, wow. So similarly to what the energies were last week, we're having the same momentum. The momentum is building. Something is moving forward. It's interesting as well because currently in Canada, we have this convoy of truckers making their way from the West Coast all the way to Ottawa, thousands of miles away, in protest of the mandated thing and the passports. And truckers from all over North America are moving with them in solidarity. And it's interesting because I'm not going to discuss sides here, but there's a unifying aspect that's coming to the forefront. And there's also a lot of negative energy attached to that. And whenever there are large movements, you will see other opportunistic, negative, whatever, organizations, or on a small level or a large level, hopping on to these things to add their, just to sort of take advantage of that momentum. And what I find very interesting about this energy, and I know I've said interesting now about 2,000 times since we started recording, is that the underlying energy is this Empress energy. It is this rising up of a feminine energy. And you might think, well, you know, how is this, something like this, protest feminine energy? It's because it is now trying to balance, it's trying to bring back into harmony a patriarchal masculine energy, is what it is. So it has nothing to do with gender, it's the energy of the thing. Okay. So, and it doesn't matter what side you're on of this debate, the underlying feeling is, this is a feeling of love. This is an outpouring of love, emotions, softer energies. You know, it's having these two things together. This is like Mother Nature. We also have the Queen of Wands connected to this. This is a lot of feminine energy here. Okay, so this is, you know, Mother Nature is a force to be reckoned with, but it is the environment that nurtures everything. It nurtures life as we know it on this planet, and it has been getting abused, to put it mildly, in every shape and form. This is it's called the Muse of Inspiration, but it's essentially the King of Wands. Okay. Let's look at that for a second. So this fiery imagery is the balancing card to this. So this is what we've had. And we've got this, the counterpart coming into balance here with it. But there's a bigger push at the moment with that Empress energy and the Queen of Cups. This is the healing. It's like, it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. Let's heal. It's that feeling of nurturing, healing, how to move forward with everyone, with as many people as can be together for the greater good, whatever that looks like to people. Okay. And I didn't think this was going to go in that direction, so I will hop off that. But the Three of Swords is there. There's this underlying feeling of sorrow and grieving and heartache and difficulties and struggle and coping. And this, all of this energy over here, all of this feminine energy is about healing this open wound that just keeps getting, every time it's about to heal, it gets reopened. You know, the scabs do not have a chance to form and heal the skin that's underneath. Just rips it open again. Always, that's a delightful concept, isn't it? Okay, let's see where we're going from here. I think I'm going to leave those out of the way for a moment. And I'm going to switch over to the Tarot of Mystical Mermaids. I'll show it to you in a second. Not going to believe this. King and Queen of Wands. Divine counterparts. It takes two. It takes both sides. It takes both energies. Now, they have their backs to each other here. That's how they came out. Okay, so there's a conflict still. They know they have to work together, but there is a conflict. Now, that conflict at this moment, so step outside of that, apply this to any divine masculine, divine feminine. I didn't know what this reading was going to be about. So look at the soulmate cycle, look at the twin flame cycle, look at the global influence. These sides are not meeting. There is that overbearing in this deck. This is a little bit manipulative energy here. Just a little bit. Okay. So in what ways are you being manipulated? Are you manipulating to get what you want as well? The Page of Swords is about learning and opening up from a more innocent capacity, a beginner's mind, seeking out information as opposed to trying to prove your point. Seek the truth, seek information on both sides. That ultimately is what's most important. Never mind even both sides. Seek information. Have a curious mind. And then we have Temperance. Still not time. Still not. Okay, so we have some communication taking flight, something going away, and something sitting still. And we have our lovely background effects, sound effects coming in right on time. My crow said, who mentioned bird? What bird? Okay, at the bottom of the deck, this is that foundation, building the foundation. Home, Ace of Wands. I saw this earlier on this week as well. Okay, won't go back too far, but Ace of Wands energy. That is, the beginning of some kind of inspiration. It can also be quite literally a phallic symbol. Okay, in a lusty, and it's not a negative card. It's not saying that that's wrong, but quite often with an outpouring of love, the conducting factor, shall we say. Okay, so that's where we begin to move forward and start the planning. So last week we were sort of in a pre-planning phase of, I know I need to make a plan. How do I set up to start planning for the thing that I want in the month of February, when things actually open up? And again, I'm not necessarily talking about pandemic-wise. How do things energetically open up so that I can move forward into the things that I want to be and become and do and implement and, projects, business, work. That flew out. The Death card. So it's usually death and rebirth. It's not just death to something and then it's empty. It's, burning that field so something can grow in fertile soil. Being exposed, being wide open. Something new has to happen. It's like everybody has been waiting for something new to happen. And that Temperance is still there, that patience card, that need for balance, bringing things back into balance is still a carrying over energy. Queen of Wands again. And the Empress again. Makes this up. It's a strong, strong energy. Temperance. There's something very interesting about the progression of these cards in this order. Okay, so now we're moving this way. Okay, Queen of Wands, which we've seen already. So she's standing there, somewhat melancholy, with this illuminated sunflower. Okay, little fireflies and things. Yeah, they're fireflies and moths drawn to the light here. Moths to a flame, right? And she's got this peacock dress. It's almost not quite aware of how, it's typically it's not the female that puts this on display, but she's got that. That's part of the male aspect within her, standing there with this sunflower. It's blossoming, it's illuminating, but there is still a little bit of melancholy as she's moving into. So this energy that we're trying to bring out to balance that King of Wands and the Emperor, we're moving forward into the divine feminine. So this energy, just like the King of Wands, there's a negative side to that. And that negative side can be impulsive, it can be fickle, it can be, showing up with a whole lot of energy, really interested in something, and then 5 minutes later, 5 days later, 5 months later, whatever, going, yeah, it's not my thing. Boom, gone. And the Queen of Wands, she can also be like that. And it's a different way. It can be hot-tempered. All of a sudden hot, then cold. Interested, then not interested. Fickle energy. All into something and then not into it at all. It can be bossy. It can be emotional in that way, in a negative sense. Okay, so that's the very human aspect. The King and Queen of Wands is a very human aspect of the Emperor and the Empress in the divine sense, where everything flows naturally, where what you want versus what you need is not an issue. How things function in that way is kind of automatic. It functions in a divine sense, meaning it knows how to rebalance itself, how to recalibrate itself. Okay, that is in full bloom. She's got that. We talked about gestation before. Things cannot be rushed. They take a certain amount of time. Okay. There's all this fertility here. And the glow is behind her. She is lit up, which is beyond this, where the sunflower is lit up. This is very ethereal. This is that heavenly, cosmic, golden light. Okay, so I said, this takes time. You need patience for this. So then we move into Temperance. And she's protected here with this like little lampshade. Everything is very ethereal. She's not really looking at what's going on. She's sitting there allowing one bird to take off. She's focused now on what's coming in. Something's flying away, something's coming in. It all balances. At any given time, she has one bird on her hand. So as we're moving down the line. And then we've got, do you see the theme? If I can stack these, let's see if I can stack these all up. Yeah. So this is how they came out. See the progression here. It's very nice. And so the Wheel of Fortune starts with the heart. The heart is the thing. And the time. Everything in divine timing. Things are moving forward towards love, towards giving birth to something, letting something unfold naturally, and letting things that are not meant for you to fall to the wayside without being impulsive, like that wand energy. That wand energy is really positive when it's directed, when it's not impulsive. And to sort of learn the difference between impulsivity and spontaneity. Spontaneity is good, although difficult to say with Mercury retrograde. Impulsivity is different. Compulsivity is different. Okay, so try and feel the difference in those energies. Now let's see what we have. So this one is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann as well. Finally, a different card. Ten of Wands. Okay, here we get into the practical stuff. We have Mr. Aquarius. So an Aquarian energy coming in. That's the season. Okay, so on a very practical sense, never mind all those, woo-woo energies that are out there. We are finally at that phase of dropping the burden. Everything's picked up, packed up, taken the crap to the dump, and the rest of it is lightweight, ready to move on. It's not like the Eight of Cups. It's not like the Nine of Wands, setting boundaries. This is past that. This is like ready to reset. This is just, I'm almost ready to reset again. And what comes after this reset, which will probably take the whole month of February by the feel of it. I mean, time is not, I don't see time so much in a linear sense, but anyway, we'll say it feels like for the month of February. This burden, this reset, all the last little pieces are coming together. It's almost as if you're getting ready to embark on something. You're going somewhere. You're heading out on this journey, this trip. And little by little, every single day, there's a task to knock off the list before you can actually pick up and go. So, you're just metaphorically speaking, you clear everything out, then you wash everything, and then you take multiple trips to the dump and throw it away. Then you maybe do some repairs. Then you realize you need to purchase something. That thing hasn't arrived. You have to wait for it to show up. You put it together. It's not what you wanted. You have to send it back. So it's like eliminating, preparing. And the vibe that's connected with that, this is the old vibe of, look at me, I'm all dressed up, ready to go, and I can't get into the place. Woe is me. Learning to live with less. What am I going to do with less? When I throw out all the stuff, what's going to happen? That kind of vibe. She doesn't notice there's a key here. There is a key. Okay, so these two things combined are the underlying energies that you really need to let go of. And this can take, for certain people, this might be quicker or slower, depending on what you did all of, the last 4 or 5 months, the last 4 months of 2021 and January. You should not be in this place anymore. If you are, it's you. It's not an outside influence. This is you really being a big baby. I hate to say it. This is the excuse person. This is the woe is me. Everything sucks. I can't see there's a big key to open the door. And somebody might say, hey, there's a key here. You can open the door. I can't lift the key. I don't know how a key works. Like that's what that is. It's just a small energy. It's not a major energy. It's a minor arcana thing. It's definitely that glass is half empty kind of vibe. So you could look at this as like, I'm always going to be burdened. No matter where I go, I'm burdened. That's this influence. Or you can go like, I am getting rid of this burden. Yeah, it's heavy to carry this stuff from here to there. Or I have to take another trip to the dump. Okay. But then it's gone. Then it's clear. Then it's looking forward. What is on the horizon? What is at the top of the mountain? And I really love this card in this deck. So this is really that energy of Aquarius as we move in. This is, there's all these raptors and crows and bats and things, all the communication things that take flight. And he's sitting at the, way up in the mountains here where it's clear, where you can see above. So maybe down there on the ground, maybe you can't see. So you clear up everything and you go, I'm going to go up to the top where I can visualize my vantage point. Where can I position myself, literally or figuratively, where I can cut through the BS, this nice sharp sword, poke through the veil, whatever it is, and set my intentions for it. See what's coming. See what the long range plan looks like. See what that road looks like. Been on a really long road. That's the road I came to get up here. What does the future road look like? And there's this feeling of holding on. There's still a little bit of this struggle of how do I let that go? How do I let that go? Okay. It's very interesting energy. But then we have the Wheel of Fortune again. Balanced energy. Look at that. Let's get that to not reflect. Trying to get it. The card is just, there we go. Okay. Balanced energy. She's in the tree pose, standing on a whole pile of coins. It's like lens flare around. She's up in the clouds. She looks very blissful. She's balancing the dark and the light energy. Fate. Fortune favors the bold. Gotta let go of some stuff. Reap the rewards. You put the rewards, what it is you want to manifest, it's out there. It's already done. Look at that. Bottom of the deck. Knight of Wands, sorry. Temperance again. Again, dark and the light energy. This is angelic energy. The light and the dark wings, that golden energy. It's a healing energy. Oh, look at that. Angel and the devil right next to each other. And that's what you got. That's what you have to face right now. But then you have victory. Got to push through it. This is that point. Don't give up. It might feel like I've been doing this for so long, like it's never going to change. Repeating patterns, repeating people, bringing you new people with the same old lessons, new situations with the same old lessons. Keep clearing away the stuff. It's like we're on the verge. Collectively, we're on the verge of the big stuff. Individually, we are on the verge of the big stuff, balancing those things within ourselves. Relationships, we are on the verge of the big stuff. So it's looking good. It's really looking good. It's looking very positive. Look at that. Even here, Ace of Wands, 3 of Discs, 10 of Cups. These are the things that you don't see coming. Okay. Celebration, 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 10, everything pretty much, and the Sun. Okay, come on now. Everything you want Everything you want is right outside that sphere of your familiar zone. I don't want to say comfort zone because it's usually not comfortable. We're just familiar with it. People put up with all sorts of nonsense and it's far from comfortable. And they stay there because there's a benefit. It's something they know. It's the devil they know. Even if it's a new devil, it's the same energy. Same energy. Okay, I am going to pull these runes. Oh, you heard that sound? It sounded like something ripping. I need to keep them in the box. Keep the bag in the box. Okay, I'm going to see any additional insight. Or are we going to get the same thing? How does it look? Feminine energy, feminine energy. Joy. So close, so close. Answers. This is mouth. This is speaking, communicating. It's also feeding, nurturing. So that's pretty much what we've been saying. Okay. I feel like we need one last thing. Right. I guess it's that one. I'm sure we've had this show up before. Common theme, divine will. Divine will says your life is unfolding. Oh, let's hold it. I'll hold it like this so you can see it. Okay. Your life is unfolding in accordance with the divine will of your soul. Trust. Let go of fear and apprehension. You are protected and eternally blessed. Have patience. All manifests in perfect timing. So if that's not the headline for the whole reading, I don't know. I don't know. So that's it. I don't think there's any point reading any additional information. It's all going to say the same thing. Everything's coming back into balance. There is a rise up of feminine energy, however that looks like in your life. Embody that energy of softening, like softening that aggression with an act of fertility. That's one to contemplate. Think about that. And it takes time. It will take time. So you have to do all the little things to alleviate the burden. And those little things in themselves may also feel burdensome. But as you do all those things, you are tapping into, and don't do it begrudgingly, do it optimistically. And as you do all those things, you are tapping into the good fortune, the wheel of fortune, the balancing, that angelic energy of temperance, where everything becomes balanced again. Not flatlining, but nice. It's like when you take out the canoe on a nice lake where everything's twinkly, when the sun is shining. If you've ever gone for a little paddle on a lake in the early morning with that early morning sun, the lake is all full of golden glitter. It's that vibe. You're not going out in a storm trying to gain your balance. You still have to balance in a commune, but it's nice. Okay, there's some visuals for you. Have a fantastic week. Tune in tomorrow on the other channel, on the Astro Tarot channel, and see what we've got for the whole month. It's going to be very interesting. Stop. I have to find another word for interesting, but it is. It's interesting. Okay. Have a good one.